All right, without further ado, let's show a warm welcome to our Power Rangers. You know him from Power Rangers Ninja Storm. He played Blake. Can I get Jorge Vargas up here? We can't forget his brother. He played Hunter in Power Rangers Ninja Storm. Can I get Adam Tuominen up here? We have our Lunar Wolf Ranger. Can we get Phillip Andrews up here? Yeah. From Megaforce and Super Megaforce, can we get Andrew Gray up here? And for our next panelist, if I listed everything he was in, we'd be here all day. Can we get Mr. Campbell Cooley up here?
Yeah. One more chair? Okay. We're just for the panel. Oh, okay. Where's my name down? Oh, my name's down there. Oh, all right. Wow.
Las Vegas Anime 2025. How you guys doing?
Awesome. Ow! All right. Just the amount of aura up here. So my first question is, I know I gave you guys some introductions, but can I get those back from you as well? I'm gonna go down the line, starting with Campbell because he has the longest list. If you can remember them, Campbell. If not, it's okay. Can you let us know who you are? Who were you in the show?
Right, so I've been voicing monsters for every season since SPD. I'm probably best known for the last 6 seasons, so I'm Slither from Dino Fury, Scrozzle from Beast Morphers, Snide from Dino Charge, Admiral Malcor from Megaforce, and Cosmo Royale from Ninja Steel, so plenty to go from.
Okay, no big deal.
George? Can you introduce yourself and who you played in Ninja Storm?
Oh, I am Jorge Vargas. I play Blake Bradley, aka the Navy Thunder Ranger from Ninja Storm.
I'm Adam Tuominen. I play Crimson Thunder, evil and good.
I am Phillip Andrew, the Lunar Wolf Power Ranger, Merrick / alter ego Zenaku.
Hello everybody, my name is Andrew Gray and I play Troy from Megaforce and Super Megaforce.
And I'm Jimmy and I'm the moderator.
Yeah.
All right, so my first question, this is my first question to ask, my favorite question to ask. It's about how you got involved in Power Rangers in the first place. Campbell, I know you have a laundry list of villains. Evil has never looked so handsome. Can we agree on that? So how'd you get started and involved in Power Rangers? I'll start with Campbell. We can work our way down.
The short story is that I was working as an actor, a film actor in New Zealand. I was having trouble getting a voice agent, and there's this kind of juxtaposition. You can't get a voice agent unless you've done voice work, and you can't get voice work without a voice agent. So I was kind of stuck. And one day, the casting director for Power Rangers contacted my acting agent and said, "Do you have any American actors in your books?" They said, "Yeah." I went in, I auditioned for Tomars and SPD, got it, and they just kept bringing me back. So that's my story.
I was lucky enough to work on a series called Skate with Douglas Sloan, who was the executive producer. So he gave me a call one day and was like, "Hey, working on a show. You want to come and audition for us?" And at the time, I had broken my back, spinal fusion, just got out of the wheelchair. My head was shaved from the scar in the back. Silence on the other side of the phone, and he just goes, "How fast can you grow your hair?" And that's kind of all I needed to hear. And it was like the best place to kind of go to New Zealand. Great food, trained with like great people. It was like the healthiest thing. And I bounced back like nothing. So that was my connection to the job.
So I've done 3 years at a drama school, actually with Jason Chan, who plays the Samurai Ranger in my series as well. We spent 3 years doing acting school, and then I got the audition. My agent said, I don't really want you to audition for this. And I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and audition for it. And I got the role. So in the audition, I had to do, a couple of kick flips, a couple of scenes with American accent, and then my impersonations of like Christopher Walken and Ace Ventura.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I was fairly new into Hollywood, and I just got some agents, and I was just auditioning for a bunch of stuff. I actually auditioned for Time Force the season before Wild Force. Didn't get it, but they brought me back the next year. Went through about 7 or 8 auditions, and finally got the role. Didn't really know anything much about it, but it was a kids show because I was already in high school when it debuted here in the States in '93. So I had to catch on a little bit, and then finally I got called up to the office one day thinking I was about to get fired. They handed me my action figure with my face on it, and I sat there, looked at it, and said, okay, I think this might be a big deal. There we go.
Right on. Right on. Let's see. My manager at the time, her name was Mara, and she knew that I was an athlete and I loved to take on challenges. She's like, you really want a challenge? Do you really want a challenge? Well, I'm going to give you an opportunity to do green screens, pyrotechnics, choreography, acting all in one, and also the ability to be on more screen time than most actors will ever get. Will you take the audition? But I won't tell you what it is.
That helps.
Let's flip a coin. Heads, yes. Tails, no. Heads, bam. It's Power Rangers. It's like, let's go, baby. And I auditioned for it, and it was like an American Idol thing. It was a room full of amazing people, and just as many people as all that's here with the number on. I was like, okay, this is going to be a challenge. I mean, people were in there doing nunchucks. They were doing all different kinds of activities, backflips, doing the splits. And I'm like, I think I know crazy. I don't know karate. And I made it. It was fantastic.
That's awesome. So we got a little bit from Phillip just kind of mentioning Power Rangers, and he kind of knew about it. But just how familiar with Power Rangers were you guys when you booked the role? I know you guys come from different eras. Some of you might have been more familiar than others. Can you let us know how familiar with it? Sorry, with Campbell?
Sorry. Oh my
How
gosh.
familiar were you with Power Rangers?
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I've ever told this story at a con before. So when the show came out, I was not the demographic. I was 27 years old, and I was in my apartment one day cleaning, and I just wanted some noise in the background. So I turned on the TV set, and Power Rangers came on, and I was looking at it. A few seconds later, Alpha 5 comes onto the screen, and I was like, that is the dumbest looking robot I have ever seen in my life. Not knowing 14 years later, Power Rangers was going to be like the biggest part of my life, and I was voicing Alpha 6.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Can you do the Alpha 6 voice?
I myself, like a lot of you, have memories of sitting with Lucky Charms in front of the TV, mom or dad in the background, just, getting drunk on the sugar and watching all these colors and monsters and fighting and robots and everything you liked. And then it was like years later, I'm lining up with Jason, and back then we used film, so you couldn't do too many takes. We have our marks to run up to, and Jason's beside me, and we run up, and I kept blowing the shots because I'm about to morph with the OG, and it's just like the whole time I'm like looking over to the side, cracking a smile, and the director's like, Jorge, stop looking at Jason, try to act like a hero.
So unprofessional. So I grew up on Ninja Turtles, actually. So I did know of Power Rangers, but I was a massive Ninja Turtle fan, always Michelangelo. But my brother and I did about 5 years of karate. I got a twin brother we're not identical, but he's the smart one. I'm the actor. But yeah, we used to put the couch cushions on the ground and just kick butt. But I did know about Power Rangers, but it was more Turtles that got me into that side of thing. And I did start to see it as I left school. And then I do drama school where it's all theatre. And then my first audition out is Power Rangers. And I literally did know about it. I was like, I know what this is going to be like. I know what I'll be doing. Martial arts, stunts, having a good time in exotic places. And that's exactly what it was. And it was an amazing experience. So I'm glad I said yes.
Yeah, same for me. I had heard of it. It's a kids' TV show. Never watched it. Didn't cross my mind to even try and watch it. Just went in, did some kicks, rolled around in the audition room. Again, did it about 6 or 7 times, and finally got it. And then as the year went by and just, the experiences, kids coming on set and just, everything about it, I just started getting into it and just figured out that, whoa, I think this is really big. So, yeah.
Let's see, I'm of the original generation, and I don't know how, being in school, I could not have known of it because if everybody was doing rangering in class and it became like illegal to, like Mortal Kombat and Rangers, people were getting hurt, right? And I was like, man, this is like really, really cool. But I was just a big fan of cartoons and TGI Friday and, Saturday morning sitting down and just having the television as a babysitter for like 8 hours and just consuming it all. And I just think being a hero is a very noble thing. And again, getting the opportunity was great. But I just watched it because I loved heroes. I like seeing people stand up to bullies. I actually took the lessons from it that I still apply today, that teamwork makes the dream work. And together we're going to go further and those kind of things. And that's how I fell in love with it.
Yeah. That's awesome. Andrew and I are the same age, so we were kind of like around the same time. But next question is, a couple years ago now, there was a special for Mighty Morphin called Once and Always, which kind of brought us up to where the Mighty Morphin Rangers are at. With that said, if it were up to you, where would your characters be at now if they were to do a special similar to that for your season?
That's easy.
We'll start with Campbell because his list is the longest.
Oh my
Or
gosh.
just go with your favorites. Who's your favorite person to play? Where are they at?
My favorite character is Squazzle from Beast Morphers. And I guess because we've been given so little information about him and his backstory, I would just love for us to get some kind of backstory on him and maybe have like a redemption arc. It's a redemption arc. Maybe he saves the Rangers or something and turns into like maybe a new alpha unit. Who knows?
Hasbro, make it happen. You're not doing anything else. Shots fired. All right, Jorge, where would Blake be?
I think that final shot of Blake and Tori running off in the sunset on the beach. I'd like to think they ended up getting married and have a nice family and a whole bunch of Power Rangers afterwards.
Yeah, right.
All right, Adam, where would Hunter be?
I wish I could go like full impro here and make something up, but we all know that Hunter in the end of the series became the head of the Thunder Ninja Academy, so he's training the new Thunder Rangers.
Yeah, go.
If you remember, Merrick and Zanaku walk off into the sunset. There was no actual end to the characters, so I believe that Merrick turns back to the dark side and actually fights Rangers in the future, and this big war happens, and they have to try and get him back to being, on the good side and everything.
Yeah. Right on. Well, as you guys remember, I hope, that I put my sword down. So I was no longer using weapons. What I decided to do is go into the UFC, and right now he's a 4-time world champion in UFC, but he's also a backstory of a Marine. So he goes out for ultra marathon runs with David Goggins like daily. So stay hard.
All right. I want to see all of those stories happening. So if anyone knows someone at Hasbro, we got your source material right here. Writing credits.
Please,
Writing
do
credits.
it.
Make it happen.
All right. So I can have all the fun. So I'm going to jump it over to you guys. So if you have questions you want to ask our Rangers and Campbell Cooley, our villain, our monster, please line up right next to Ed from Good Burger here and ask your questions. Just remember, they filmed the show many years ago. They may not remember every single detail, so please be patient with them. Give them some kindness. I'm sure you all will, but just in case.
So my question is for Phillip. So Merrick had such a compelling arc from cursed warrior to hero. What was the most challenging part of portraying his internal struggle?
That's a good question. I guess just trying to focus. I mean, because he was always confused. Because, it starts off bad, then it becomes Merrick good and everything. And it's just always that struggle. In the back of his head is that Zanaku, that voice just sitting there just taunting him, left and right. So I guess for that, I think it's as much as he didn't want to be around the Rangers, I think it kind of helped him every time jumping in and helping them fight, learning what's right, what's good on that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that question.
Thank you.
Oh.
Hi.
I hope not. I don't remember mine very well.
How are you guys such good fighters and very good voice actors?
How are you guys such good fighters and very good voice actors?
Oh, thank you.
Practice.
Thank you. Yeah. Practice, practice, practice.
I've studied
Practice
for 3
makes better,
years.
never perfect, just better.
I think that getting cast in the actual part, because that's what we had to do in our audition. So I guess we were doing something right, doing all the kicks and stuff, even though some of us didn't even know martial arts. So I guess so.
Yeah, well, I've done quite a bit of martial arts.
Follow up.
Oh, we got more? No?
No, I think she was just going back with that.
Second question. Whispers.
How are you guys doing today?
What are your Power Ranger colors?
Ooh, what are your Power Ranger colors?
My favorite or what?
Your Power Ranger colors.
Crimson.
Navy blue.
Blue and silver.
Red and gold.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Great question.
Thank you.
Round of applause.
Thanks for the question.
All right. Hey, how's it going? What's your question?
My question is, did you pick up any of hobbies and habits of your characters, or even just things that are related to them? Like, did you pick up pool, get needle stuff, iron stuff,
Yeah.
etc.?
Yeah, I started playing pool a lot more than what I did, previous, growing up and everything. So I got into it a lot more. So that was really cool doing that.
Yeah, I would have loved to have got into motocross, but it's something you really got to get into and have a lot of time and money to throw into it. But we did enjoy that side of it. We had all the X Games as a part of our series. So, look, not really, but I would have loved to have done the motocross.
Yeah, I had turntables before Power Rangers. I got to play on that. I had a Yamaha, so we got the motocross thing, and then the skateboarding as well. A few of us had did it, so it was weird. It's like Doug knew what a lot of us liked and did, and it kind of incorporated into it. So, yeah.
I only just discovered this about a year or two ago, but somebody noticed when they were visiting me that I was unconsciously saying "ay ay ay ay" a lot.
That's fine.
Awesome. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, bud.
So my question is for Jorge and for Adam in specific, because Jorge, I heard that you had a metaphorical situation that is similar to the Once and Forever with Blake and Tori being together for the rest of their lives. My question is, because I already told Adam about this, about the story with my TikTok character, Bradley, the new Navy and Crimson Thunder Rangers. And how would you guys feel about me making a whole story arc through TikTok and on Instagram, basically telling my character's stories and their convoluted relationship with your characters and being the sons, twin boys, of Blake and Tori?
They had twins. Well, he's already answered that for you because he knows they're going to be together, so he would love that.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
All right, that is all.
That's a really good idea.
That's a great idea. You should follow up on that.
We'll be watching.
Hello. My question is, what is your guys' favorite stunt you guys did?
What is your favorite stunt that you did?
Well, I think it was for all the seasons, but we had it in our contracts. We weren't supposed to do a lot of them. So, I mean, we kind of did a little rolling around, some kicks here and there, but all the big stuff was the Japanese stunt doubles and everything. However, there was one shot when I was still the Ancient Warrior, and we were doing a day and night shoot. And so I was up top of the hill in Santa Clarita, California, during the day, and at night they were setting all that up. So I was still in the ancient outfit. I had those uncomfortable boots on and everything. And so the most difficult part was because the first take, I went out sprinting kind of, really hard, and I pulled both of my quads. And I was in a lot of pain, but I didn't want to say anything because these guys spent so much time and hard work setting this scene up. So I just kept going, and I forget his name, but he was a Japanese director, not Koichi. No, he didn't speak English. He had his translator there. And so he's like ready for the next take. And again, I'm like, oh no. So I go and third, fourth, fifth. And then I'm kind of starting to slow down, but still acting like I'm going. So about the 12th take, the translator comes up to me. He says, you don't have to run so hard. We can edit that. And I was like, damn it. Where were you on take 2, man?
I think for me, the favorite was, I don't know if you know an episode called Boxing Bopperoo, where Pooh and I are on the beach having a little training fight and it gets a little bit heated. That was probably my favorite stunt, as in the whole fight scene, because we did most of that ourselves, barefoot on the Bethel's beach, 6 a.m. And it was a lot of fun. And that was probably my favorite fight scene / stunt.
I've got quite a few, but one I can remember. They actually used it in the opening scene. We're running down a creek, I think it was. And on rehearsal, we're walking the line, and Koichi Sakamoto, he's showing us where they've got the explosions.
Yeah.
So he's like, here, explosion, here, explosion, here, explosion, just run. And they're like buckets of like a metal bucket that faces away from you, but you could feel the heat as you run by. And as we go, it blasted me so much, I actually fell, and I didn't do it on purpose. And we're running, and Pua Magasiva, without losing a step, he just reaches down and picks me up and continues to run. And they ended up using it in the take. So I think that was one of my favorite ones.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, guys. Good to see you all again.
What's up, man?
So my question to you guys is, what part of you personally do you connect to the character that you had?
Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah. What part of yourself do you see in the character you played as?
Yeah. I think for me, like the protection of his brother, once the parents are gone, Hunter takes over the parent role and he's always looking out for his brother. And I think I like to do that with my family and my friends. I always like to make sure they're all right. So I think that's probably the biggest connection I have with Hunter.
Oh, I think just the martial arts and the motocross. I think I had a connection with that.
I had actually a big connection with my character. He's a martial artist. I'm a martial artist. I believe in composure and not showing all your feelings on your face. Leading people into situations where they're kind of be led in blind. I do that a lot with my family. Protection and just honor in general, and coming from a good, positive intent. And I do believe that my ranger wasn't focusing on being a nice guy. He was really focusing on being a good guy. And that's what I try to work on in my life as well. Good question, man. Thank you.
Ironically, even as a voice actor, I connect to one of my characters. I love the fact that even though Scrozzle is a maniacal genius, he's very polite. He likes please and thank you, and he never gets it.
I think for Merrick, just kind of the rebelliousness that he had. I kind of have that. I know I had that when I was a teenager. And then sometimes just wanting to do things without people around, whether it's like playing pool by myself or, whatever. So, yeah, more lonerish, whatever, yeah. Good question.
Thank you, man. Good question. Thanks for dressing up. You look great.
So my question was with Andrew that which
So you can like transform into other rangers with your like super mega full power, right?
Yeah.
And like I was like having a question is which form is your favorite?
I got to just give it up to Samurai. I love Samurai in general, and Alex Hartman. We went to high school together, and it was pretty cool to see him up there before I was. And then I got it. Who knew, right? That was going to happen. And then him have a cameo in my season. So he flew to New Zealand. He's like, could I stay with you? I was like, once a Ranger, always a Ranger. And he stayed with us, and we filmed, and it was great. It was really cool.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Thank you, bud.
It's just a quick question. So you guys were doing the motocross, man. Was that really you guys on the bikes, like tearing it up, or?
They were very careful with us on the bikes. They spent the day to see how good we were, and he was great. We're on the beach, and it's the sand is black,
Right.
and mixed with white sand, so it's like this beautiful beach. He goes about 8 feet in front of me and draws a line on the ground. He's like, "I want you to go up there and brake before the line." Start the bike up. I start moving. I start going, and something took over me, and I just opened it up, and I hit a speed where the waves matched, and I was just screaming and like getting all emotional. I come back, and he's like, "Don't you ever do that again!" But I know why you did it.
I'm standing there going, I don't know where he's gone.
And then just the last, it's like a follow-up to it. So if you guys were racing, so I don't know if you remember, Blake and Hunter were racing. Blake cuts him off at that last corner turn, man. Do you think you would have went pro instead of Blake, or you would have still been training at that Thunder Academy?
No, I think that moment was all about that changing of the guard, you know, like the younger brother getting better than the older brother, which is things that happen, you know, and that's what I love about Power Rangers. There's that real crossover with the family, you know, and it shows you morals and what happens, and you can identify with those sort of things. And I found that moment, was when he realized that his brother was better than him, but he didn't care about that because he knew that, you know, he had his job and he was, he was that father figure. So, he loved the fact that he was good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, bud.
Thank you for your questions.
Hello, my name is Manny. So growing up, we had superheroes, Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, Captain America. To me, I had Spider-Man, Ben 10, and of course, the Power Rangers. So my question to you guys is, who's your hero?
Who is your hero?
Bruce Lee.
Hey, good one, yeah. Oh man, shit, that's
It's going to take a while, man. Like, so many. Probably my dad.
Oh.
Yeah.
But if you want a character, then I'm thinking, I was always a Superman guy.
I love my Heavenly Father. My dad is definitely my hero as well. Power Rangers, I love the Red Ranger. Austin's character, I wore that suit into the ground until like all the elbows and knees has holes in it, and I was like the smelly kid in class. They're like, you need to wash that thing. And Spider-Man, I love Spider-Man. That was amazing Spider-Man. Oh, and X-Men too. Man, that was when X-Men. So good.
Bunch of them, but I guess when it comes to acting, the person I always emulated was Ray Liotta, and I always based a lot of stuff like all of his films and everything on him, and that's what I wanted to chase after. And kind of funny how once I first got in there filming, they weren't happy at all. In fact, they wanted to fire me, but they were already too far into the show. So the executive producer and the acting coach had to come down to the ADR room and say, what you're doing works for a 2-hour movie, but this is a kid's show and you got to go over the top. And I'm like, oh man, like that. So I had a hard time kind of doing the over the top, kind of the way the Rangers are and everything. But I was always, since a kid, I always loved watching Ray Liotta. Yeah.
It's not only that it is a technique and a style. It's it's a tone. It's exhausting, guys.
Yes. Oh yeah, it is.
It's exhausting to be extroverted for 22 minutes. It's not 22 minutes. It's like a whole week of filming.
Oh yeah.
That they cut into 22 minutes. So
Yeah.
when you're watching your favorite stars on any Nickelodeon or Netflix or Disney or Paramount Plus or whatever, know that they're giving like 3 times the amount of effort as a lot of other actors would be doing. They're doing more work.
Yep.
Awesome. So thank you so much for the question. Did everyone answer?
Good question, though.
Thank you, bud.
Thank you.
So I have a question for Phillip. Since like you went to Japan recently, and I was wondering, what are your what was your for Phillip? Yeah, I was like, since you went to Japan recently and all that stuff, I was like wondering on Gozu.
I don't understand what he's saying.
Oh, like, what are your thoughts on Gozu?
So he's asking your thoughts on the current Super Sentai.
Yes.
Oh yeah. You know, that's awesome. I recently saw Super Sentai for the first time, and man, I wish. I mean, it's definitely not Saturday morning. It's more of a PG-13, and I thought it was really super cool. Like some of the death scenes are like wow, this is Power Rangers in Japan. And I actually was over in Okinawa doing a signing in December, and whenever I flew back to Tokyo, I went to the Super Sentai Cafe, and everything from 1975 all the way to current to the Cosmic Fury, everything was all there, and I got to sign this plaque that they put on the wall and everything. But they would have TV with all the Super Sentai and go through, playing everything in there, and it's really good. So if anybody, all you guys have never seen the Super Sentai versions, watch it. It's really good.
Definitely, even the Red Ranger being a wolf as well.
What's that?
So in the current Sentai, the Red Ranger, he's wolf themed. So.
Oh, it's the wolf. Okay, right on. Yeah, cool. I need to see that one. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you for your question.
Great question. Yeah.
If you saw your youngest self right now, you think?
Say that again?
I'm sorry.
If you saw your youngest self right now, what would you think?
If you saw your younger self right now, what would you think?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I would say, stop. Let me talk to you for a second. I want to just tell you what not to do.
I would tell my younger self to slow down before you miss your exit. The way that you exit is the way that you're going to enter your next thing. And the way that you enter is the way that you're going to exit. So just slow down. That's all.
Yeah, I would tell my younger self to grow up.
I'd say these are all the stocks you need to invest in. This is your investments.
Buy gold.
Yeah, buy gold. Here's the key. Here's the key to the chest of gold.
Do not buy your first car as a Porsche.
Good
time. Awesome. Thank you so much for your question.
Since the reboot of the new Power Rangers, what do you guys want to see in the reboots?
So with the reboot of Power Rangers coming, what would you like to see in that reboot?
Myself.
There we go.
More Thunder Rangers.
Yeah, just what I said a minute ago, it'd be awesome to see it more Super Sentai. Yeah, and it, definitely try and do what they try to do for the 20-year anniversary and get a lot of us together. I know it's kind of hard in one episode, but if they could get everybody together during one season for the reboot, that would be just awesome right there.
I would like for them to listen to what the fans want. And go off of a fan script, because I've had dozens of them sent to me, and I read 5 of them that I was like, dude, this is well written. It's in the final draft format. They took their, this is awesome. Do this. I don't know. So say what the fans want.
All right, thank you guys for making my childhood.
Yeah, man.
And thank you for your question.
I was not late to the panel, I swear. So as we've seen with a bunch of other Rangers, like Tommy Oliver, and even like Billy and a bunch of Rangers, if you could go back and choose another team for your Ranger, or at least for you just to play on, what Ranger team would you guys choose?
The originals. Yeah, Mighty Morphin. The originals. Oh, geez.
Did you guys watch, in the latest installment of the Power Ranger films that came out in 2017?
Yeah.
How Zordon was the Red Ranger?
Yeah.
That one.
You would want to be Zordon specifically?
No, but to that crew, because they crash landed,
Fair
and
enough.
then he put his essence into the the rocket or ship. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if this is the right answer or whatever, but because we were the last season to shoot in LA, we never got to team up with Ninja Storm. And so it would be awesome to not only do that, but to be one of their characters. It doesn't matter who, but to be one of those, because I think we were one of the only seasons that didn't do it. And it was unfortunate, but that's what I would do.
You're reading my mind. That's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say Wild Force was probably my favorite season when I watched it. So I probably want to go and join their team.
I'm secretly a Ninja Storm fan, and I would have loved to have voiced some monsters on that series.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, good question, man.
Thank you so much for your question.
Thanks for not being late.
Mia!
So I got a fun question for you. If you could create your own Megazord using Zords from any and all seasons, which Zords would you choose and why? And what would you name your Megazord?
I would do the Japanese Zord because I know it's not going to break down. It's going to be very fuel efficient. And I'd probably name it Toyota Zord.
I want to say I know a lot of Zords, but I'm not 100% sure. But I think if I wanted a Zord, it'd probably be like the Lion Zord. Oh, no, that's my series. Gosh. Yeah, like a wolf sword.
Hey, I like that.
Too much love for you.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of really liked our Zord, but I would take it to the Japanese gold version. Yeah.
And at the risk of sounding self-serving, I love the Zord that Scrozzle had in Beast Morphers for that one episode. They were shooting flamethrower. It was shooting flames and everything. So yeah, that's what I want.
Well, I'm going to give you the answer that I gave you at the table earlier because I'm not familiar with all the seasons. But I would get a Cobra Zord because of just quick, snap quick, and then a Cheetah because of just the running quickness right there, and then still keep the Wolf.
Yeah, you can ask one more.
And Phillip, I have one more question for you. Do you think Merrick would ever fully forgive himself for the whole thing with Zenaku?
No. Wow. No, I think he's a really hard-headed person, really stubborn. So I think it haunts him forever. No matter if he, went good again or it never even went bad, it's always going to be in the back of his head. So it's just gonna torment him, for forever. Yeah. Because it's like 3,000 years worth. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your question. So I actually have a question for Campbell. So we went over this earlier. You've been voicing monsters dating back from SPD all the way up to Cosmic Fury. It's a long time. That's a lot of monsters. That's a lot of voices. What is your process when it comes to coming up with a new and unique voice for these monsters and their identity?
That's really hard to answer because my standard answer is that 9 times out of 10, when I see what the monster or character looks like, the voice just comes to me. When it doesn't come to me, I try to find inspiration. Maybe something about the character's personality or their power or whatever, and then I try and maybe draw from an existing character. When I was trying to come up with the voice for Scrozzle, I drew a blank. I had no idea what to do for him. So I was thinking, okay, well, he kind of reminds me, he's like a scientist, he's a bully, he talks big, but then he backs down. And that reminded me so much of Dr. Smith from Lost in Space. So I tried to do like this kind of Dr. Smith voice, and it absolutely did not work. So in the case of like Scrozzle and then subsequently Slither, I just struggled to find a voice. So in those cases, I just started pushing and pushing and pushing until something came out, and I just got lucky, and they liked it. So I don't know that that's really the answer I want to give, but
Hey, that's honestly a great answer because it shows that the creative process isn't always linear, right? sometimes it just comes to you. I have a question now for our Rangers up here. All of you found yourselves in New Zealand for your seasons, right? Actually, not Phillip Andrews. No, you were still in LA. But my question is, it's about being on set. Do you have any fun stories from being on set? Any stories that maybe stand out to you? That sometimes maybe you're sitting back and you're like, that was a good day. Do you have any stories like that?
I kind of wanted to back up for a second because he was talking about his voices. What I just got a takeaway is, because I've heard that quite a few of you guys want to get into voice acting in general. He took a risk. You know that? He took a gamble. He literally put something out there and they're going to be like, no, that's trash, you're fired. He had nowhere to go, but he did it anyway. So he was scared, took a risk, did it anyway, and he nailed it. So bravo, bro.
Thank
Definitely props to you, Campbell.
Thank you.
So
And
even if
honestly,
you're
definitely
scared,
props-
do it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and definitely props to everyone who's chasing their dreams, right? It's not always easy because you never know when you're going to fail, but I guess that's part of it, right? Is taking that risk and hoping you'll succeed, right?
And that kind of goes into your question. All of us I believe all of us are trained actors, and we took this as a challenge, as an opportunity, those kind of things, but we also took a risk. I didn't know what the tone was going to be or what they were looking for. I haven't watched it in a while, and I didn't know how to do all these crazy flared taekwondo kicks, but I went in there, I kicked, I think I pulled my groin out the first time, but we just went for it, you know?
Yeah.
And we got a call back, and we're like, okay, that was enough. What did I do? And then your agents are like, just do what you did the first time. And you're like, well, what did I do? You know?
Yeah.
You just keep pushing forward. Even when you're blind, you know, and not knowing, you just keep going.
I think for me, like, you know, whenever we got to go out into second unit where the Japanese stunt doubles would be doing their thing, that was probably some of the moments where, you know, I mean, they could hardly speak any English, but we could still learn fight scenes off each other. We weren't even talking, we were just showing and grunting and some of those moments where, you know, you're looking at each other and you know exactly what wavelength you're on, but you're not speaking and you're working together in synergy and yeah, that was probably my favorite moments. Whenever you're doing something on set, that was the stunts, stunt doubles. They were always some of the most entertaining moments.
I think I had so many moments, but like a good day would be, and this goes back to the story of us using film. During the takes, we were always trying to bust each other up. So if, for example, if we were talking out of the corner, like behind Pikachu, all of a sudden you would see Pua's butt cheek start sticking out of behind a light or something, and you'd have to try to keep staying character
as well.
Yeah. So I think those moments.
Yeah, you guys are doing that with film.
Yeah.
Now they're yelling at us and it's digital, and they can just erase it.
Check the game.
Check the game. Move on.
And you guys know how expensive film is. That's why I say that.
Yeah, and I guess also I mean the moment I put on the suit, like the very first time, and it was like I'm a Power Ranger. I think that was
official
for
sure.
So mine, I was blessed to have, you know, that really cool, mysterious, dark kind of character. But once Merritt came along and he got the leather jacket and the black leather pants and the leather shoes, cool outfit. I'm like, man, this is awesome, really cool. But then when you get your call sheet and you're shooting in the desert out in Palmdale in California, and it's 110, 112 degrees, and you probably didn't have enough water to drink or whatever, there's that one day where you faint and you lose consciousness, and then they have to shut down the rest of filming for the rest of the day, and then they're looking after you like a hawk from then on. So every time we got a call sheet, it's all desert, I'm like, damn. Lots of water. Yeah, but that was a fun memory.
That is a reminder for everyone here to make sure you stay hydrated.
Yeah.
Water is important. I'm guilty of not drinking enough of it, and I know you are too. So definitely make sure you drink your water. If you learned anything today, it's to drink your water, because you know what happens. All right, with all that said, I'm going to start off with Andrew and work our way down. Can you remind the people where they can find you, either online or in film or whatever projects you may be working on?
Right now, today, you can find me at booth KL1 right after this. You guys can also find me on social medias at Andrew Gray, that's Gray. I have some great things on there, and I have great things coming out. I have a MMA film that's going to be released this summer in theaters and on Amazon streaming. It's called American Warrior, and I have more things to come after that. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. I am not in the entertainment industry anymore, but I just do go around and do cons, get to meet all the cool fans and everything. You can reach me on my Instagram at Phillip Andrew Official. I also have a shop apparel site, lunarwolf.shop. You get a lot of cool stuff on that. I do Twitch Live, Patreon as well, and my YouTube channel, Lunar Wolf Den, and lots of little cool things behind the scenes stuff and everything, so tune in on that.
So after Wednesday, you'll be able to find me in Australia. So come down there. I've got a couple of projects going on stage. But other than that, you know, you just find me on Instagram, adam.tuominen, that Instagram or whatever it is. But yeah, thanks for having me out here. It's been a blast and you're all awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having us out here. You can find me and Adam and the rest of us at the back Legacy lane, I guess. And also, I got a movie coming out. Keep an eye open for it. It's called In the Blink of the Eye, directed by Andrew Staten. Rashida Jones is in it. 3 storylines takes place, so just keep an eye open for it. I play a Neanderthal, so you won't recognize me. It's 4 hours of makeup. But keep an eye out for it. Hulu. And I do a quick appearance on the Cross. That should be coming out soon. So yeah. Cheers.
Right on.
I'll try to keep this quick, so you can find me on YouTube, Campbell Cooley, voice actor at large, some fun behind-the-scenes videos of me recording some of my characters, Instagram, Real Campbell Cooley, I'm on Cameo, I'm on Twitter, and I just started doing a new animation called Mail with Mr. Zip, made by the same people that make Paw Patrol. You can find it on YouTube. It's a lot of fun, and I've just voiced several episodes for Paw Patrol as Mr. Porter, so hope to see you there.
All right. Don't leave just yet, because we have a surprise for you. But before we do that, can we please give them a great round of applause? So, the surprise. Jorge.
Yes.
Do you want to give the surprise?
Oh yeah, we have a helmet giveaway.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And I believe her name is Mia, Green Ranger.
So the giveaway is this signed Navy Thunder Ranger helmet.
Someone take a picture of her. There you go. That's awesome.
Your new favorite Ranger.
See me after and I'll send you a photo. Be careful. All right, with that said, please give one more round of applause. And applause for Mia for taking home that beautiful helmet. With all that said, my name is Jimmy. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon. We have about an hour or so left of the convention, so definitely make sure you go, have some fun, say hi to the Rangers if they're at their table. But most importantly, make sure you have a safe ride home, wherever home is to you. And please remember, be awesome to each other. That is the least you can do. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, guys.